This is Mlc TV News Hour, reaching you live from Lokoja, the state capital of Kogi State. I am Morno Balagogo, and these are the headlines. Buhari signs 17 trillion naira budget into law, laments worrisome changes. Troops arrest 8 suspects as abducted PLATEAU monarch regains freedom. Tens of thousands evacuated as wildfires spread in the state of Colorado. A Nigerian striker, OSIMHEN, suffers pre-AFCON COVID-19 setback. And now the news in detail. The Nigerian President, Muhammadu Buhari, has signed into law the 2022 Appropriation Bill and the 2021 Finance Bill. The President signed the documents in the presidential villa in the presence of Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, and other members of the Federal Executive Council. Speaking at the event, the President said the 2022 budget just signed into law provides for aggregate expenditures of 17 trillion naira, an increase of 735 billion over the initial executive proposal for a total expenditure of 16 trillion. The President explained that 186 billion naira of the increase, however, came from additional critical expenditures that he had authorized. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning to forward it to the National Assembly. He said the minister will provide the public with the details of the budget as passed by the National Assembly and signed into law by him. He announced that he would revert to the National Assembly with a request for amendment as soon as the Assembly resumes to ensure that critical ongoing projects cardinal to this regime do not suffer a setback due to reduced funding. The President recounted that presentation of the 2022 Appropriation Bill, he had stated that the fiscal year 2022 will be very crucial in his administration's efforts to complete and put to use critical agenda projects as well as improve the general living conditions of the people. President Buhari also expressed concerns in the reductions in provisions for some critical projects, including 12.6 billion naira in the Ministry of Transport's budget for the ongoing rail modernization projects, 25.8 billion from Power Sector Reform Program under the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, 14.5 billion naira from several projects of the Ministry of Agriculture, and introducing over 1,500 new projects into the budgets of the ministry and its agencies. President Buhari has said that manufacturers will have better access to forex. Manufacturers got an assurance on improved access to foreign exchange forex on raw materials that are not available locally. They got the assurance from President Muhammadu Buhari during an advocacy visit by the leadership of the Manufacturers Association of Nigerian Man to the State House in Abuja. According to the President, the relevant ministry had been directed to revisit their concerns about the increase in excise duties on the identified products and other tariff-related matters. He was reacting to requests by Man President Mansur Ahmed, who led delegation on the need to create an enabling environment for the manufacturing sector to contribute more to the economy. In a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president also assured Man that Nigeria will take steps to fully maximize the benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area AfCFTA agreement. The President, Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, Kogi State Chapter, Tade Adeyemi, has sent a message of appreciation to Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello and the Chairman Local Service Commissioner Adams Adebenege for the approval and the release of the promotion of staff at the local government tier of governance in the state. Tade made the appreciation in a statement issued to newsmen where he expressed himself with joy and deep appreciation to Governor Bello for making and keeping to his promise that before the end of the year, the promotion of local government staff would be released. Recall that the Local Government Commission today released the 2018 staff promotion of local government staff to the head of administration in all 21 local government areas. He said the release of promotion was done by the Workaholic Permanent Secretary Musa Yahaya Omoyi on behalf of Chairman Adams Adembenege. The Ministry of Local Government described the release of the promotion as one that was based on the mandate given by the governor to release the promotion on or before the 31st of December. Tade described the promotion release as a New Year's gift for the local government staff. He assured that he will not rest on his oars in agitating for issues concerning the staff at the local government. Tade expressed readiness of Norgay staff of the local government to redouble their efforts in the new year. He described the gesture as a good omen that 2022 will be a great year for the local government staffers in the state. The Norgay president used the medium to wish Governor Bello, the chairman local government service commission, and staffers of the 21 local governments a prosperous new year celebration. Governor Yaya Bello has been commended for the appointment of Chogudu Sule Ahmed as the new clerk of the Kogi State House of Assembly. The chairman of the State House of Assembly Service Commission, Malik Andas, gave the commendation in a statement in Lokoja. Malik appreciated the governor for his free disposition towards the appointment of the new clerk by the Assembly Service Commission, constituted by the present administration. He said the commission is honored and remains grateful for being given the free hands to operate in consonant with the commission's enabling law, promising that the commission will continue to live up to its expectation. According to the chairman, the gesture of the governor in allowing the commission to carry out its statutory role without any interference has shown his firm belief in the collective drive to develop all segments of the state. Malik, on behalf of the members of the commission, thanked Governor Yaya Bello for the appointment, pointing out that the new clerk is patient, highly principled and trustworthy officer who he believes will do well in ensuring the smooth running of the assembly business. He also appreciated the Speaker, Matthew Kolawole, principal officers, and the entire members of the House for their steadfastness and unceasing support to the Commission. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, assured Nigerians that the National Assembly will revisit the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and remove the direct primaries clause and pass it into law after it resumes from recess. Gbajabiamila also ruled out the possibility of the National Assembly vetoing the bill earlier rejected by President Muhammadu Buhari. He said this during the commissioning of some projects, including the Obele Mini Stadium, the Sumu Road, Adedoyin Road, Ojikutu Ishola Road by Randley, Razak Balogun Mini Stadium and the Razak Balogun Road, Adeniro Ogusanya in Surulere, Lagos. The Speaker said that the President refused to sign the bill based on advice, but insisted that the indirect primary clause was meant to ensure that Nigerians participated in the electoral process. He said, if you followed the history of the amendment of the direct and indirect primary bill that I initiated, the amendment bill for a good reason and is for people to participate in elections. These are the people you see around when you campaign every 4 years, come rain and come shine. When asked whether the National Assembly may veto to the bill, he said, which way the sword is going to fall, he has no idea until that time. He cannot read the minds of the whole National Assembly members. They need 2 to 3 of the members to override the president. There is a reason the Constitution prescribes 2 to 3 veto. It's not something you easily override. The governor of Bayelsa State, Tutu Odiri, has signed into law the state's budget of 314 billion for the 2022 fiscal year, which was passed by the House of Assembly. The Assembly, however, increased the budget by 3.7 billion naira Diri had on October 20th presented the original appropriation bill of 310 billion, christened Budget of Sustainable Growth, before the Assembly for consideration and passage. He ascended to the budget at the Government House in Yenogwa. A few hours after it was passed by the Assembly presided over by Abraham Ungobere explained during plenary that it jacked up the 2022 budget by 3.7 billion naira after due consultations. He stated that the increase was as a result of omission of assembly personnel and some ministries, departments and agencies, as well as calculation errors during preparation. The 3.7 billion naira, according to the House, was made up of 1.4 billion naira as assembly personnel cost, special duties 800 million, Office of the State Director General 40 million, and some other MDAs, amongst other. The governor, he said, was delighted that the budget was speedily passed by the Assembly within the 2021 fiscal year. He stated that his administration was working towards moving away from dependence on federal allocations by improving the state's internally generated revenue. Diri charged those entrusted with the responsibility of collecting revenue to do more to increase the state's revenue profile from 1 billion naira to 1.5 billion naira monthly. He thanked the House for its commitment and called for more collaboration between both arms of government for the development of the state. The Lagos State House of Assembly has passed 1.758 trillion budget for 2022. The lawmakers increased it from the initial 1.38 trillion to 1.7 trillion. The budget was passed at a sitting presided over by the Speaker Mudashiru Obasa after a presentation of the report by the chairman of the House Committee on Economic Planning and Budget. Bolahon Ishao, after the plenary, explained that the total budget size passed is an addition of leftovers from previous allocations in the 2021 budget. He said the leftover was rolled into contingency fund in the 2022 budget. The lawmaker also put the capital and recurrent expenditure ratio at 63 to 34, while the recurrent expenditure is 591 billion, capital expenditure is 1.16 trillion. He added that the loans, bonds and ISPO funds were also captured into the budget that was passed. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on November 24th presented a budget estimate of over 1 trillion to the House of Assembly. He called it the budget of consolidation. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Shuaibu Ibrahim, has decorated with the new rank of Major General. The decoration was performed in Abuja by the Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, who was joined by the DG's wife, Martina Ibrahim. The tenure of Shuaibu Ibrahim as Director General of the 48-year-old scheme has witnessed national recognition and tremendous achievements such as robust welfare package for core members, increased capacity building for the staff, expansion of the skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development programs, strengthened synergy with stakeholders for improved productivity, utilization of core potentials for optimal benefits, resuscitation of NYC farms, establishment of NYC Museum, establishment of NYC National Troop, unveiling of 9 books on the scheme, amongst others. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has warned that the 2023 general elections may be in jeopardy unless concerted efforts are made to halt the worsening insecurity. According to the electoral agency, the mounting security challenges and electoral impunity cannot guarantee a conducive atmosphere for the electoral process. INEC said the fear of deployment to conflict areas by ad hoc staff is worrisome, adding that many of the over 1 million non-permanent workers who participated in the 2019 polls showed apprehension. Threats to peaceful elections highlighted by the Commission include communal conflicts, farmer-herder conflicts, insurgency, secessionist agitations, banditry, kidnapping, and plain criminality. However, the agency assured that it will find ways of navigating through the challenges. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, who spoke to journalists in Abuja, maintained that the challenges are real. He said the country must break the circle of impunity, violence, and identity theft to have peaceful polls. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the immediate posting of CP Edward Chuka Ebuka to Kogi State Command as the new Commissioner of Police. The posting follows the redeployment of Idrisu Daban Dauda to the Force Headquarters for national engagements. The new Commissioner of Police, Ebuka, who was until his deployment the Commissioner of Police in charge of communications at the Force Headquarters, was enlisted into the Nigerian Police Force in 1988. A statement by Frank Mba, Force Public Relations Officer, said Ebuka holds a BSc Honours in History and International Relations from the University of Calabar and a law degree from the Rivers University of Science and Technology. An astute law enforcement officer with international peacekeeping experience and a member of the prestigious International Association of Chiefs of Police, IACP, Edward Ebuka has attended several tactical and leadership courses within and outside Nigeria and has served in various capacities within the force. He was the immediate past Commissioner of Police in charge of PLATEAU State Police Command. As a Deputy Commissioner of Police, he was in charge of operations in Osun State Command and Kogi State Command. He is also in charge of criminal investigations at Zoning Headquarters, Abuja. The police in Katsina has arrested a 31-year-old man in Kano for allegedly using internet to deceive sex ladies and having sex with them. Journalists were told the suspect, Usama Tijani, was a resident of Doraye quarters in Gwale local government area of Kano State. He was luring ladies to hotels for sex and to defraud them of their valuables, the police have alleged. Superintendent of Police Issa Gambo paraded Tijani before journalists, saying they took the action after following series of complaints from ladies in Katsina Metropolis that the said suspect specialized and was deceiving young girls whom he came across through social media platforms by inviting them to hotels in various states, sleep with them, and fleeing after stealing their phones, money, and other valuables. Nemesis, however, caught up with the suspect when he lured one of such girls, an indigene of Katsina, to a hotel in Kano with a promise to pay her 50,000 naira, but after spending the night with her, he fled the hotel in the early hours of the morning while she was taking her bath. The suspect will be charged to court after the investigation. You are still watching MLC TV News. We'll take a short break. We've got more stories. Stay with us. Season's greetings from MLC TV.
From the news desk, we promise to be objective, impartial, and up to the minute with breaking news, and also watch out for more exciting and entertaining educative programs come your way 2022. I am Fatima Yakub, MLC TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and all of the above. You will not regret partnering with us. Thank you.
I am Faith Abdul-Ghaffar from the Reporters Desk. We wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You'll be expecting more of our reports from every angles of the world.
From the entertainment desk of MLC TV, we promise to bring more exciting entertainment content your way come 2022. Thanks for believing in us. Thanks for staying with us throughout the 2021. Next year will be a bigger and better year. My name is Matthias Aidiji Peter, viewers of MLC TV. My name is Malik Jonah, always bringing you sport on MLC TV. We promise you 2022 is going to be a big and sweet year. Sports updates back to back. Happy New Year in advance.
I am Avoswahi Amodu, presenter of Young Parliament on MLC TV. I thank you for being with us, and I promise 2022 will be a captivating and quintessential with lots of young parliamentarians joining me on the 3rd to talk about issues that emanate from national and state parliament. Let us do it better in 2022.
From all of us in Mlc TV, we thank all our subscribers and partners who have been with us since September 13, 2021, when we first launched our news daily. We appreciate you for believing in us. We also promise not to disappoint you in 2022. We can only get better. You will not regret partnering with us. We urge millions of people to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV, and to like our Facebook page, Mlc TV, to do business even better. We are Mlc TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. Merry Christmas and New Year in advance from all of us.
Well,
Glad to have you back. Troops of Operation Safe Haven have arrested 8 suspects in connection with the kidnap of a traditional ruler in Plateau State, Charles Mato Dakat. Recall that Charles Dakat, a paramount ruler in Gindiri local government area, was abducted by gunmen who attacked his palace last Sunday around 1 a.m. He was, however, released in the early hours of Friday. Confirming the arrest of the 8 suspects in a statement shortly after the monarch regained his freedom, the military information officer of Operation Safe Haven said, while the paramount ruler of Gindiri in Mangu local government area of Plateau State, Charles Mato, has been with his abductors, the commander Operation Safe Haven, Ibrahim Ahmed, placed the troops deployed at Gianbos on red alert and the hot trail of the perpetrators. According to the statement, consequently, 8 suspects were arrested in connection with the kidnap incidents and are being interrogated. Following this development, the paramount ruler early this morning on Friday, 31st December 2021, was released by his abductors. Alright, breaking news just reaching us. The Kaduna State Schools Quality Assurance Authority, KSSQA, on Friday shut down 2 Islamia schools indefinitely over alleged rape of 6-year-old girl and impregnation of another 12-year-old girl. One of the schools, Madrasatu Ulumu Daniya Watafizu Quran, located in Rigasa, Igabi local government area of the state, was closed over alleged rape of a 6-year-old girl within the school premises. The other Islamia school, located at Sonhon Masala Singh Juma in Kachia local government area of the state, was also shut down following an alleged impregnation of a 12-year-old girl by a 50-year-old teacher at the school. The overseer of the KSSQA, Mr. Idris Aluyu, who shut down the Islamia school in Rigasa, explained that the 6-year-old girl was violated within the school premises and the school authorities covered it up and feigned ignorance of the incident. Aliyu added that the information before the State Ministry of Education showed that the victim's grandmother went to the school authorities to complain but was allegedly beaten by the students and teachers of the Islamia school. He said that Governor Nasir El-Rufai has ordered that Islamia school be shut down indefinitely until investigation is concluded and the culprits produced. He added that the headmaster of the school will be held responsible for the act until all persons in the school were profiled and the perpetrator identified by the victim and prosecuted. Former Vice President and People's Democratic Party flag bearer in the 2019 presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, has condemned what he described as the unwarranted and unprovoked attack on Zamfara State PDP Congress by some folks. According to Waziri Adamawa, the development is a bad omen for our democracy and free and fair elections in the country, noting that there was no justification for violently attacking members of the opposition by thugs. Atiku, who reacted to the incident through his media office in Abuja, said these kinds of criminal activities should not be tolerated by either the leaders of the ruling party or the opposition. In a statement signed by Paul Ibe, the former vice president said such open lawlessness by suspected supporters of the ruling party is an invitation to anarchy, which will create conditions that make free and fair elections difficult. He urged the Inspector General of Police to take immediate action towards ensuring the arrest and prosecution of those involved in the violent attacks on the Zamfara State PDP members and supporters, adding that the police should be politically neutral in law enforcement in the country. The former number 2 man warned that refusal to arrest and prosecute those involved in the untoward incident will encourage future impunity, stressing that no group of people should feel unprotected from thuggery because of their political affiliations. ActionAid Nigeria reacts to alleged siege intimidation of SETBACK by DSS operatives in Abuja during public holiday. NLB, the country director, ActionAid Nigeria, in a statement said it is quite unfortunate to hear the alleged invasion of the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, SETBACK, office by the DSS during the public holiday. As civil society, we have the mandate to seek accountability and defend human rights regardless of who wields the power. In a country where the Constitution guarantees human rights and freedom of expression, what we have continued to experience in recent times is the flagrant abuse of power and the consistent attempt by the government to gag human rights defenders in the country. It is sad that this act is now extended to institutions. Injustice to one is injustice to all. Since the inception of democratic governance in Nigeria, the country has never witnessed this level of gross violations of the rights of the citizens, human rights defenders, and organizations, as we have seen in recent times. We demand an explanation. We ask the federal government to investigate what has transpired and tender an unreserved apology to Nigerians on behalf of its overzealous officers. We are monitoring this case closely as it borders on the shrinking civic space in Nigeria, which should be a matter of urgent concern to all citizens, local and international stakeholders alike. Abdulmalik Suleiman, the Chief Security Officer at the government, has been praised for his outstanding interest and contributions to the development of sports development in the state. Abdulmalik was recognized with an award at a ceremony organized by Santos Football Club in partnership with Hallmark's Image Services, presenting the award for his excellent contributions to the various state football clubs in the state and in the overall development of the youths. TM Adama described his interest in supporting youths as laudable, described it as rare. Adama, who was the chairman of the association, urged other Nigerians to take the development of sports as a priority, described men like Abdulmalik as rare and few in the state. Adama called on the state government to fund sports, described sports as an employer of labor, revenue earner, encourages youths to showcase their talents, and added that sports checks youths' involvement in antisocial vices. In his remarks, the Chief Security Officer, Alhaji Abdulmalik Suleiman, said over the years, sports development and working to support the youths has been a passion. Multi-International Joint Task Force said 6 soldiers were killed when troops engaged Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists within the vicinity of Malam Fatori town in the fringes of the Lake Chad region. The terrorists, however, did not go unscattered as troops killed 22 members of the sect. A statement by the spokesman of the Multinational Joint Task Force, Mohammed Dole, disclosed that the operation, codenamed Sharan Fage, had troops drawn from Sector 3, Monguno, Nigeria, and Sector 4, the far Niger Republic and was heavily supported by Operation Hadin-Kai Nigeria, who targeted Boko Haram ISWAP criminal terrorists hibernating in the vicinity of Malam Fatori town. According to the statement, the troops met strong resistance from the terrorists who launched several mortar attacks, laid improvised explosive devices (IEDs) along the troops' route of advance, and further attacks with vehicle-borne improvised explosives devices (VBIDs). However, the troops brought superior firepower to bear on the insurgents, forcing them to abandon their enclaves. The statement said during the exchange of fire that 22 Boko Haram terrorists were neutralized during the operation, while 5 of their gun trucks, 5 motorcycles, and several logistic bunkers were destroyed, and 8 AK-47 rifles were also recovered from the terrorists. It noted that 6 members of the Joint Task Force, including 2 officers and 4 other ranks from both Nigeria and the Niger Republic, paid the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty, with about 16 others wounded in action. The families of Samia Naka of Azaide clan in Adavi local government area of Abasi clan in Kogi, Ehima have lost an industrious daughter, Adisa Onya, popularly called Auntie Oyivo. Adisa is a caring mother, sister, and lover of the family who before her death related to her mother's and father's family closely. She cherished every moment she lived, and in her father's family's homes as a custom, visited them as they spread across Upogoro, Agasa, Okene, and Nagazi. She followed her loved ones wherever she discovered them, visited them, and participated in all they do to promote the family. She was a devout Muslim and a dedicated member of Banatu Islam, Adavi Eba, Enomopa, Adavi local government area. Her kindness is second to none when it comes to loving, even towards those who never had any blood relations with her. They all testified she is described as an epitome of beauty, humility, and love. She died of a protracted illness on the 29th of December 2021. Muslim scholars and sympathizers were in their numbers converged on the premises of hers at Unumopa to bid her farewell. She was survived by her children and siblings. She has long been buried according to Islamic rites. She was 80 years old. Fidel prayers for her departed soul shall be on 5th January 2022. May her soul rest in peace. Former presidential aspirant under the defunct Social Democratic Party, SDP, and President General Supreme Council of Sharia in Nigeria, SCSN, Dr. Ibrahim Ahmed is dead. The elder statesman, who was one of the first generation of medical doctors in Kano, reportedly died in the early hours of Thursday at the age of 83 years after a protracted illness. It was recalled that the renowned medical practitioner had in 2013 declined to serve on the committee constituted by President Goodluck Jonathan to mediate with members of Boko Haram. Dr. Dati Ahmed had on that momentous moment accused the federal government of lack of sincerity on the way it was handling insurgency at the northeast. The medical doctor left behind a wife and 10 children and has since been buried according to Islamic rites. And now to news from the foreign scene. Russia's Vladimir Putin has warned his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden that imposing new sanctions over Ukraine could lead to a complete breakdown in relations. In a phone call late on Thursday, the Russian president said such sanctions would be a colossal mistake. Biden meanwhile told Putin that the U.S. and its allies would respond decisively to any invasion of Ukraine. The call requested by Russia was the pair's second of such conversation this month and lasted for almost an hour. The build-up has prompted concerns in the West, with the U.S. threatening Putin with sanctions like none he's ever seen if Ukraine comes under attack. Russia, however, denies it is planning to invade the country and says the troops are there for exercises. It says it is entitled to move its troops freely on its own soil. Although the two sides exchanged warnings, during the call, Russian foreign policy advisor Yuri Ushkov told reporters shortly after that Putin was pleased with the conversation. He added that it created a good backdrop for future talks. Tens of thousands of people have been evacuated and hundreds of homes have been destroyed as wildfires spread through the U.S. state of Colorado. The fast-moving fires are burning in Boulder County, north of Denver, and officials say deaths and injuries are likely as the blazes spread further. Some 30,000 people in the towns of Louisville and Superior were told to leave their homes on Thursday. Meanwhile, a state of emergency has been declared by Governor Jared Polis. This fire is not so much a question of resources. He told a press conference that the fire is a force of nature. He hoped that the winds die down, that the weather changes. But for those who are directly affected, know that they don't stand alone. And while previous fires in Colorado have been in rural areas, these latest blazes are taking place in more suburban parts of the state. At least some were sparked when power lines were toppled by strong winds, and they have quickly become the most destructive wildfires in modern history of the state. Mourners have been filing past the coffin of Archbishop Desmond Tutu as his body lies in state at St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town, South Africa. Tutu, a Nobel Peace Prize winner who helped end apartheid in South Africa, died on Sunday, aged 90. His official state funeral will be held on the 1st of January after the lying-in-state period, allowing mourners to file past his body and say their final goodbyes. Large crowds are expected to visit the cathedral over 2 days. The lying-in-state period had to be extended to 2 days for fear there might be a stampede, a local priest told the AFP news agency. Priest burnt incense as Tutu's simple wooden coffin was carried into the cathedral. Tutu's wish was that there be no ostentatiousness or lavish spending on his funeral, and he even asked that the coffin be the cheapest available, his foundation said. And now to sports news, let's join Jonah Malik for update.
Welcome to Sport Update. The African Cup of Nations is being disrespected by some negative media coverage, says former England and Arsenal striker Alan Wright. The 2014 competition begins on 9 January and will feature a host of Premier League and European stars. Crystal Palace manager Patrick Vieira is among those to also call for the tournament to be given more respect. Former Newcastle, Tottenham and Norwich defender Sebastian Bassong, who won 18 caps for Cameroon, says he recognizes the double standard. Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen has cancelled a planned trip to Italy to assess his cheekbone injury after contracting coronavirus for a second time. The 23-year-old returned a positive test in Nigeria ahead of a trip to Naples, but is asymptomatic, according to a statement by Syria outfit. Consequently, the local authorities have ordered that Osimhen isolate, and the checkup will be rescheduled after he has tested negative to his period of isolation end. Osimhen, whose latest positive test comes just 12 days before Nigeria's opening game at the African Cup of Nations, will isolate for at least 1 week in line with public health protocols. The former youth international was in good run of form prior to his injury, with 9 goals and 2 assists for Napoli this season, as well as 4 goals for Nigeria in the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Osimhen is the latest Cameroon-bound player to suffer a coronavirus-related setback ahead of the tournament, which kicks off on the 9th of January. The General Administration of Sport of China has banned football stars with tattoos from playing for the national team. The Football Administration published a series of guidelines which automatically stop any members of the national team from getting a new tattoos, according to Marca. However, this is not the first time that tattoos have caused controversy in the Asian country football after their national team star were reportedly banned from displaying them back in 2018. The directive aimed to urge footballers to set positive example for society, also advising those who have already tattooed themselves to get rid of them immediately. The country's youth team caretaker have also been banned from calling up players with tattoo. Chinese will not take it to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar and have not qualified for the World Cup showpiece since the 2002 edition of South Korea and Japan. And that's Sport Update on MLC TV. I am Malik Jonah.
And on entertainment, Matthias Sayodeji standing by to give you all the details.
On entertainment news today, Christmas in Miami, the latest film in the Akpos franchise created by comedian Ayo Makun, has raised to $100.7 million in its opening week at the box office. The comedy film made a total of over $100 million as its 7-day gross, according to figures compiled by the Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria. The film was screened in 61 locations and watched by more than 49,000 viewers since its December 24, 2021 release. The film's performance is the best opening of any Nollywood film this year and finished the week second only to Disney's Spider-Man No Way Home, which ended the second week in the Nigerian cinema with a 7-day gross of over 172 million naira and 451 million naira in total. The Aki and Popo Nostalgia project by Play Network Studio finished the week in third place, sweeping 29.7 million naira at the box office to end up with 80.4 million naira after 2 weeks of screening. Christmas in Miami is the fourth installment in the Akpos film series, following 30 Days in Atlanta that had a return over 163 million naira, a trip to Jamaica with over 180 million naira, and 10 Days in Sun City with over 176 million naira. AY's Merrymen, the real Yoruba Demo, had over 236 million naira, and Merrymen 2, Another Mission, had over 234 million naira. Net him a total of 5 films in the top 15 list of highest grossing Nollywood films of all time. Christmas in Miami stars AY, Richard Mofedamijo, and Osita Yeme as a family at the Intercontinental Christmas Fiesta, competing against other families of diverse backgrounds on an exotic island in Miami. Directed by Robert Peters, the film also features international stars like John Amos, Mano Chandra, Tanya Price, Barry Pasenti, Stanley Rosin, and more. That is all our entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thanks for that update, and that's our package for today. To join us same time via this channel. For your daily news, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV, Facebook MLC TV, Instagram MLC TV 2021, and Twitter at MLC TV. For your advert placement and sponsorship, please call the numbers displaying on your screen. I am Mono Balagugu. Thanks for staying with us.